Hello, everyone. Today we're going to be watching my penultimate episode of Star Trek The Original Series. Today we're going to be watching the episode called Turnabout, Intruder, and next time we will be finishing off the series with All Our Yesterdays. Oh, I guess I have a little update on my book reading. I know last time I checked in with you guys, I said that I was going to give myself a break from Harlan Ellison. And after waiting for a few days and trying to figure out a book that I wanted to read, I just went back into the Harlan Ellison greatest hits. And I read The Deathbird, which was really strange, kind of confusing, and I didn't really get it exactly what was happening when I read it, so I found like a summary on Wikipedia that kind of explains everything. The gist of it anyways, and now I'm actually going back and going to reread The Deathbird now that I kind of know exactly what's going on, and I really like that one. Yeah, rereading that. Okay, anyways, let's watch some Star Trek.
Two of the survivors are the expedition surgeon Dr. Coleman and Dr. Janice Lester. What's wrong with her?
Exposure to radiation.
Janice, you must remain absolutely quiet.
Captain, tricorder picking up very faint life readings. Perhaps your presence will quiet her.
Okay, kind of a strange dynamic. Do they know each other?
I hoped I wouldn't see you again.
Oh.
I never stopped you from going on with your space work.
Your world of starship captains doesn't admit women. It isn't fair.
You punished and tortured me because of it.
What?
I loved you.
We'd have killed each other.
Might have been better.
Very complicated relationship going on here. Oh my goodness. She was faking it? It's not his fault that she couldn't become a Starfleet captain. Body swap episode! What? Something kind of like this before? Where another entity takes over Kirk and others' bodies? But a body swap, that's new. That's different.
You had your chance, Captain Kirk. You should have smothered the life in me. Why didn't you do it? You always wanted to.
Oh, he gets to play as...
You had the strength to do it. Now, Janice Lester takes the place of Captain Kirk. Only this Captain Kirk is not afraid to kill.
Oh my goodness.
Now you know the indignity of being a woman. Quiet!
This is
Believe me,
disturbing.
it's better to be dead than to live alone in the body of a woman. It's better to be dead.
Kirk gets to play around with his acting in this one. I'm excited.
We were too late, Jim. There's nothing could be done. Because the treatment of Selene... Dr. McCoy is quite...
Is he in on it, or?
Dr. Lester is near death.
Perhaps a shock of knowing what happened to her staff.
Beaming her up to the Enterprise would be less harmful than waiting.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Captain Kirk to the Enterprise. Prepare to beam the landing party aboard, plus 2 others. Prepare to beam aboard.
So she was training and wanting his position, so she could probably pull it off. Like she knows what happens on a starship because she was trained for that.
Take the ship out of orbit. Resume designated course. Dr. McCoy, this is especially disturbing to me for personal reasons.
Oh, I didn't know you knew her that well.
I walked out on her when it became serious. It was a very unhappy memory for me.
I didn't realize that. I shall do everything in my power.
Thank you.
Dr. Lester is certainly a very lucky young person to have escaped.
Very lucky.
I love it when Kirk gets to go outside of his normal role. It's one of my favorite things. So I love the enemy within so much.
Just began.
Well, you better put a stop to it. If you allow Dr. Lester to become fully conscious, she'll know what has happened.
How can death be explained now?
I tell you, it can't continue.
You killed every one of the staff.
He does know.
Now, why didn't you kill him? You had the perfect opportunity.
There wasn't enough time.
I gave you every minute you asked for.
I couldn't.
You couldn't because you love him.
Love. I love the life he led. Of a starship commander. It's my life now.
I won't become a murderer.
Jim, what are you doing here?
I thought my presence might quiet Dr. Lester. It seems to have had the opposite effect.
It's a symptom of the developing radiation illness.
Test with the ship's equipment shows no signs of internal radiation damage, Dr. Coleman.
Didn't Dr. Lester's staff become delirious before they went off and died?
Yes, Captain, yes. If you don't follow my recommendations, responsibility for her health or her death will be yours.
Dr. McCoy, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to take you off the case and turn it over to Dr. Coleman.
You can't do this. I won't allow it.
It's done.
Oh.
Dr. Coleman, didn't you suggest a sedation to rest the patient?
Come on, Kirk. Say something.
A sedative is not wise at this time, Captain.
Nurse Chapel, you have your orders.
Come on, McCoy. You know something's not right.
Really, Vixen. Come on. Oh, no. Bad dream.
Intriguing.
The Enterprise is proceeding to its next mission on the course set for it before I took over command. With a little experience, I will be invulnerable to suspicion.
You underestimate the connection that Kirk has with his crew.
All the months of preparation now come to fruition.
Where's Spock in this episode? Oh, there he is.
Mr. Sulu, set speed at warp factor 2.
Warp factor 2, sir.
Mr. Chekhov, plot a course for the Venetia colony.
That will delay our work at Beta Origai.
We must take Dr. Lester to a place where she can be treated.
I point out that Starbase 2 is on the direct route to our destination.
It's 24 hours too long. Continue present course. Aye, sir.
Then the Venetia colony is definitely not the place for her. Their medical facilities are the most primitive.
But the facilities will be of little use if Dr. Lester is dead. Time is of the essence. Continue present course.
At maximum speed, Starbase 2 would still meet the emergency.
Captain, shall I advise Starfleet Commander the change of plan?
No change of plan has been ordered, Lieutenant.
I believe that Starfleet will have to be notified.
Mr. Spock, if you'd concentrate on the areas for which you are responsible. Increase speed to warp factor 6.
He's got to know something's up.
Why are you being so defensive? There's no implied criticism of you.
He's filing his nails.
I'm here because Dr. Coleman's record states that he's incompetent.
That's the opinion of an individual.
No, sir. That is the opinion of Starfleet Command.
Promotions and demotions can be politically maneuvered. You know that, Bones.
Not in Starfleet headquarters.
I'm afraid the order will have to stand.
I appreciate the fact that you had a decision to make. I also find myself in that position, and I'm asking you to report for an examination.
What?
Oh.
An erratic mental attitudes since returning from that planet.
'Cause now he's a woman, right?
I won't submit to this petty search for revenge.
But you will submit to Starfleet regulations.
You want to be a Starfleet captain? You got to follow Starfleet rules.
Starfleet Command is requesting additional details on the delay.
I'll be right there.
Pulse?
Vitals look good.
Not all body functions normal. Then why am I here? Dr. McCoy!
Uh-oh.
Where's Dr. McCoy?
I am in charge now.
Bring Dr. McCoy at once.
He was taken off your case. It was done for your own protection, Dr. Lester.
I am not Janice Lester. She did this to me. Bring Mr. Spock and Dr. McCoy to me at once. Now, they must believe I am not Janice Lester.
She is suffering from the delusion of being Captain Kirk. She must be kept sedated.
Shall I prepare a mild sedative, Doctor?
Of course.
No.
You are insane, Dr. Lester.
I am enjoying this so far.
I must have sounded quite mad to you before. Well, I'll be all right now. Could I see your Dr. McCoy?
I'm afraid that's against Dr. Coleman's orders.
Is a visit by that very kind Mr. Spock to be allowed?
Perhaps that can be arranged before we reach the Benicia colony. You'll feel better if you have a little.
Well, I'll try. Thank you. Oh, it is good. Thank you.
Didn't drink any of it, though. I wouldn't trust it.
Could I finish it slowly, Nurse Chapel?
I'm glad you're feeling so much better.
Oh. Jeez, wasting no time. That's Kirk for you.
These tests should help me pinpoint the cause of Jim's illness.
Good. Drew is becoming increasingly tense. The illness appears to be primarily mental.
One of us should be able to get to it.
Are you sure that the captain will comply with your order?
I'll use my medical authority to enforce it if necessary.
Actions such as these might be misinterpreted.
Well, then, so be it.
Perhaps a conversation with her might shed some light.
Yes. I love it when these two get together to solve a
I'm
problem.
here,
Oh, he got out.
Spock, Bones, help me.
Sharon, she might have killed someone. Put her in isolation in her room. Absolutely no one is to talk to her without my permission. Yes, sir.
Come on. She was asking for help.
Captain.
Oh, I like Bones in this episode. He's on the case.
How is the doctor? I have a few questions to ask her.
Did the captain order it, sir?
They're my questions, therefore I am ordering it.
Mr. Spock, I think the captain meant that a guard should be present.
By all means, Lieutenant.
Okay.
In the pink, as usual.
I hope you're as pleased about it as I am.
Don't get dressed yet.
You said I was in perfect condition.
Physically, the Robiano dermal optic is crucial. You had one once before. Now, I need another one to compare with that previous test. Over here, Captain.
Complete life entity transfer with the aid of a mechanical device.
Yes, that's what it must have been.
As yet, it is unsubstantiated by any external evidence or objective tests.
Nevertheless, Spock, it is the truth I'm speaking.
Dr. McCoy is examining the captain for psychological changes. That would be acceptable evidence.
Spock, when I was caught in the interspace of the Tholian sector, you risked your life and the Enterprise to get me back.
The Tholian web.
When the Vians of Minara demanded that we let Bones die, we didn't permit it.
Those events
Nice
have been
little
recorded.
callbacks.
They could have become known to you.
What does your telepathic mind tell you now?
Mind meld time? Yes. Well, is that evidence enough for you?
I believe you. However, my belief is not acceptable evidence. Dr. McCoy may be of help.
I'm sorry, sir, but Dr. Lester cannot leave here.
Did you not hear what happened?
Well, are you satisfied?
There is no positive evidence of any disorder.
You're to leave here at once. I follow orders.
We all must do our duty.
Security guard!
I'm sure everything's going to be all right.
Captain Kirk. Escape attempt by Dr. Lester.
I feel like Spock shouldn't have let that guy scream. Like, usually he's more fast and sneaky.
Attention all personnel. First Officer Spock has been placed under arrest. A hearing will be immediately convened of a general court-martial on the charge of mutiny.
Oh, we're gonna do a little court scene again? Okay.
Captain's log
And
starting
Scotty's here?
5930.3. My fears are past. I am the captain of the Enterprise, in fact.
Your evidence is completely subjective.
You've had a great deal of evidence, except that of the chief witness, kept locked away and in isolation. Why?
She's dangerously insane. We've seen the evidence.
Bring on the witness. Let your officers put the questions.
Mr. Lumley, have Dr. Janice Lester brought here.
Aye, sir.
Dr. McCoy. While Mr. Spock was busy with his ambitious plot, what were you doing?
Examining you.
For the record, will you tell the court your findings?
His emotional and mental state is comparable to the time that he assumed command of the Enterprise.
But how?
I am disappointed and deeply concerned that there is no objective evidence to support my position. So far.
We certainly appreciate you being here. I'm going to have to ask you a few more questions. I'll try not to upset you. You claim that that you are Captain James T. Kirk?
No. I said the body of James Kirk is being used by Dr. Janice Lester. It was brought about by a violent attack by Dr. Lester.
Violence by the lady perpetrated on Captain Kirk?
To get the power she craved. And most of all, she wanted to murder James Kirk, a man who once loved her. But her intense hatred of her own womanhood made life with her impossible.
Is the story of life entity transfer believable? This crew has been to many places in the galaxy. They've been witness to many strange events.
That's true.
What seems to be impossible often is possible.
On a weekly basis. Yeah.
Assuming that you are correct in your belief, do you expect Starfleet Command to place this person in command of the Enterprise?
I expect only to reveal the truth.
Then you would be the captain. It is inevitable. Spock. Spock, give it up.
No, sir. You are not Captain Kirk. You do not belong in charge of the Enterprise, and I shall do everything in my power against you.
Whoa. How you gonna fight that?
It is mutiny! Deliberate, vindictive, insane at its base! Dr. McCoy, Mr. Scott, you heard it? A recess is declared to be followed by a vote.
With the truth locked away inside of us.
Silence! You will be silent! When I return, we will vote on the charge of mutiny.
I feel like everyone's doubting him now. Like, Scotty's like, wait a minute. Maybe Spock's right. Surely that's not the captain.
Doctor, I've seen the captain sick, delirious, terrified, but up to now, I have never seen him red-faced with hysteria. I know how I'm going to vote.
My tests show there's nothing wrong with the captain. Now, that's the only fact Starfleet's going to be interested in.
Headquarters has its problems. And right now, the captain of the Enterprise is our problem. Suppose you vote with me in favor of Spock. What do you think the captain will do?
Throw a fit?
I don't know.
You know all right. He'll never accept it. Then, Doctor, that's the time we move against him. We'll have to take over the ship.
We're talking about mutiny.
Yeah.
Aye.
Oh.
Are you ready for the vote?
Yes.
Come on, McCoy. You were the first to doubt him. I like this episode is like really focused on the characters and their relationships with each other and things like that.
Then's the time we move against him.
Oh.
We'll have to take over the ship.
Oh, shoot. Oh, no.
You're so charged. The sentence, death.
Starfleet expressly forbids the death penalty.
The death penalty is forbidden.
I am responsible. The execution will be immediate. Go to your posts.
What? Come on.
Take a little break. Prepare for execution. Go on!
I wish Uhura was in this episode because I feel like she would have a great like role to play in all of this. Like, I feel like it would make sense that she would be the first one to like, or one of the first ones to notice something off. She's very intuitive.
What difference does it make who he is? Are we going to allow an execution to take place? How will we fight him?
I'll fight them every way and any way I can.
This is awesome.
Plot coordinates for orbit. Mr. Sulu, lock into coordinates as soon as orbit is accomplished.
Oh, hands in their laps.
You have received your orders. You will obey my orders.
Not anyone can be a starship captain.
You will obey my orders or...
Oh? What is... Peekaboo!
For a moment, I thought I was up on the bridge.
it's possible the transference can be broken.
The bridge is where you belong.
Arthur, the transference is weakening. I will not go back to being Janice Lester. You must help me prevent it.
You have to.
You must carry out the execution.
I can't. You must kill her for me.
I have done everything else for you.
If Kirk doesn't die, we'll both be exposed as murderers. Does that give you any choice?
Man, she is nuts. Oh, is he gonna do it?
The dosage should be doubly lethal.
It is.
You'll be given a sedative until you learn cooperation. Kill him! Go!
Are they back? Well, that was...
I've lost to the captain. I've lost to James Kirk. I want you dead. I want you dead.
convenient. I thought they were gonna have to go back on that planet.
You are as I loved you.
Kill him.
Can you do anything for her?
I'd like to take care of her.
Of course. Come with me.
Her life could have been as rich as any woman's. If only... If only...
But she doesn't want... Did he say her life could have been as rich as anyone's or any woman's? Okay, so I had to put the subtitles on because it's really hard to understand Kirk what he's saying, but yeah, he's saying her life could have been as rich as any woman's, but I mean, I think that's the point. She had a ceiling that she couldn't surpass that men in Starfleet could, and she was not okay with that, and understandably so. She had goals, and that was the thing that was holding her back, and it's not fair. But that doesn't give her an excuse for her actions. And, you know, maybe she wasn't all that she thought she was, because I guess we'll never really know, but I'm not sure if she was emotionally equipped to be a Starfleet captain. I mean, maybe if she did have the equal opportunities that Kirk had at the academy to be promoted to that position, then maybe she wouldn't have had this kind of like mental breakdown that she had. But this was a cool episode. I really enjoyed seeing Spock and McCoy kind of coming together and figuring out that something wasn't right, and then the other people in the crew, Scotty and Sulu and Chekhov, realizing as well and standing their ground for what they believe is right. Also, that adorable girl that was at the communications post seemed like she was also, after overhearing what Sulu was saying, was like she wasn't going to follow Kirk's orders either. So that I really enjoyed. Kirk got to do some out-of-character acting, which I feel like he always has a good time doing, and you can really tell that he's having a good time with it. Makes the performance so much more enjoyable to watch. And I think that's pretty much all I have to say right now. This episode was a little light on story. It was very kind of straightforward. But one of the cool things is that we've established that during this time, a woman cannot become a Starfleet captain. And I think that, pretty sure that changes in one of the later series, or maybe in more than one. But I know the lady who plays as Red in Orange is the New Black, I think she's a captain in a later series. But anyways, we won't talk about that stuff. My husband's a big fan of her, though. When we were watching Orange is the New Black, he was like, oh, do you want to see what she looked like when she was younger? She was really hot, and he showed me a picture of her. One more episode to go. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think about this episode. I understand that it came out at a really weird time after the show had kind of finished, and I heard that it wasn't really well received at the time. So let me know your stories about that, the first time you saw it, and how you felt about it, and how you feel about it now, if it's different. And I look forward to hearing from you guys. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the comments, and goodbye.